we have today we have with us a licensed certified marriage family therapist. Her name is Cassandra Falby. She specializes in couples issues, and she's going to present some of her work with us today. And we'll be opening to questions afterwards and also telling you how to find her. So let's just relax, enjoy the presentation, and let's find out all about Cassandra Falby and her couples counseling approach. Cassandra, what are you bringing to us today?
So today, today I am going to talk about something, and I have a feeling that couples experience this when they are in conflict or just have a little bit of a disagreement. It is zero-sum game. And zero-sum game is really kind of this way that people position themselves in terms of being a winner and a loser in a conversation or where there's a conflict. And unfortunately, this type of energy, this kind of zero-sum game, win-lose, really can be damaging to relationships.
And when you are in that mindset of win-lose, what emotional habits tend to show up? How can we catch ourselves when we are aware that we're in that slide down into the darker hole?
Yeah. So,
About that.
what folks should pay attention to and watch out for things where you feel like you're keeping score, where you actually feel like you have a tally board, where you are thinking, I got one in, and then they said something, ooh, they got one in. And so if that's the energy, then you know you're in that win-lose zero-sum game dynamic. Also, where there's defensiveness, where you feel like you have to kind of lean in a way where you are needing to prove that you are right. That as well is another feature. Also, what can happen in the win-lose kind of zero-sum game, there can be also a shift in tone. So how you communicate. So notice when you're maybe a little more terse, your voice and what you're sharing is clipped, right? And so we can kind of sometimes sense that in ourselves where we're putting a really fine point on something.
It's that emotional tug inside of us that we feel that tightness.
Yes.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But how do you move from that zero-sum game, that mindset, into something more productive and more healing, which I don't know what you would call it, but more the partners are
Yeah.
invested. So how do you move from the mindset of win-lose to maybe more of a we component?
Yeah. So admittedly, it's tricky because, right, we're kind of in our feelings, and maybe we're really kind of, there's the motivation to really stay in this unhelpful pattern. Well, really, what we need to kind of do is try to shift into a we versus a you versus me, shift into an us kind of feeling, right? A framework that is about we, that is collaborative, that's about it being a team in terms of how can we do this together where we might not get what we want, we might not necessarily agree, but how can we be in a place to understand each other? And how can we, if it's about making a decision on something, how can we both get some part of our needs met?
I bet that's really hard because when you're caught in that emotionally, I've got to win and I'm going to do everything I can to push my point because I'm right.
Mhm.
How do you go and make the shift over to, well, I have to listen to the other person and maybe he has some points that I should be listening to.
Mhm.
That's really hard. And, I think it's a tough position to be in. But are there any quick in the moment kind of strategies that we could look to so that we can get our emotional stability kind of grounded so that we can ask the questions that we need to, and so that we can make the comments that are in our mind that actually make sense and include that we concept. What can we do?
Things we can do. Yeah. I mean, I first want to say that there is this part of us that really it's kind of seductive to win, right? Like there's actually like there's a physiological response to feeling like you're winning. And that's a lot of that has to do with the fact that you are kind of, in a place of vigilance before and you've kind of been, in a place of defensiveness. So then you feel like you're winning. So I want to acknowledge that it's definitely a challenge to do that. When you're able to kind of be in a place where you're thinking beyond the moment and thinking about what comes after this conversation, this engagement, and to try to think about it that way, and then to be able to think like, okay, maybe right now what I can do is I need to just kind of pause, right? Because the way that I'm engaging right now is not going to take us to where we want to go. And so pausing can be helpful. Engaging in things that will help you ground. It might be taking a break. It might be just kind of maybe taking a break and listening to some music, maybe going outside if the sun is out, getting some sunlight on your face. Those types of things can be helpful. Drinking a cold glass of water, sipping one to just stimulate your vagus nerve to kind of calm your body and then to revisit the conversation later, right? So obviously not just departing, but
That's a great
stating
idea.
that you're going to take a break and then take that break and then come back at an agreed upon time to do that. But really, pausing can really help quite a
That
bit.
sounds like such a great idea for so many situations that couples might experience. We just need to take
Yeah.
a break. And hopefully both partners have been schooled in learning to give that break so that we can get our thinking and thoughts together so we make sense to everyone. That's a great idea. I think it sounds like something we could go to and
Hmm.
start shifting our whole mindset from me.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Cassandra. We loved hearing you talk about that we versus me mindset, the zero sum game of win lose that doesn't get anyone anywhere. So thank
Not at
you so
all.
much for coming. And if we want to get in touch with you, how do we do that?
So you can find me actually online. I have a website. It's Cassandra Falby, my first and last name.com. I also have an Instagram that's under my name as well. And I have a YouTube channel. So there I have videos where I'm just kind of sharing some of it. You get to kind of know me a little bit. And I'm also trying to share things that are helpful concepts for couples to support how they engage.
That's great. So you guys heard it from Cassandra. She's easy. It sounds easy enough to connect with her. Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Cassandra, for sharing with us.
Thank you so much.